Hello and welcome to Coaster Strike. My name is Tom, and this will be the site of our triumphs. What may look like a big empty green field to you at the moment, I can picture a massive theme park of our design with like loads of different sections, and I don't know, I haven't planned out masses, I'll be honest. But yeah, I've got ideas for what I want to do, and this is going to be a park building series in Planet Coaster Console Edition. There are a few of these, obviously, in the Planet Coaster original game, which have been done by many YouTubers, which are quite popular, and there aren't any for Console Edition, which I feel like it makes us console players feel a bit less left out. So I've decided to build my dream theme park in Planet Coaster Console Edition. I'll be doing everything I can to make it the perfect theme park. Obviously, we'll have to tackle the Oswald-Eugene counter, but we'll get into that much later in the series. I've got loads of ideas, but it's going to be so much theming that your eyes won't believe what they're seeing. So I started off by doing this path layout for a little entry plaza, and the paths in this game were being a bit tricky. They're almost the only thing in this game that is, I don't want to say bad, but bad. They're very tricky to get the hang of, and they never quite do what you want. And you can see here I'm trying to build a plaza and it is just chaos. I'm using a special technique which was discovered way back in 2016, 2017 to create a plaza, which you can get in a bit more detail into it, but basically what you do is you've got a corner, you build a path like from the corner, and then when you delete it, it becomes much more rounded and it builds a little bit off of it, which usually means that you can build infinite plazas, but it can be a bit tricky and it doesn't always work because it is technically a glitch. Then I sort of did the edges with these wooden planks, because that's what we're going to have the entire plaza made out of later on. And then I'm just building some planters whilst I can see where the paths are not, because they're a good way to fill space. But yeah, I don't want to talk the entire time about what I'm building because that's kind of boring. I want to talk about the brand new game, Planet Coaster Console Edition. Now, I say brand new because it is technically, I don't know whether you classify it as new, it came out a few months ago, came out in November of 2020, and it's been doing quite well. I've made a few videos on it already on the channel, which you can go and check out now if you want. They're tutorials, smaller Let's Play series that I did, but you're here for this one. So, in terms of what I've got planned for it in the future, at the moment the section that we're building, the sort of port of entry area, is going to be sort of tropical, piratey, not quite pirate, but that sort of theme. Sort of Caribbean, you know, have a party in the Caribbean on the seaside with all palm trees and sand, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, how it turned out at the end of the episode. You're going to have like a sort of Disneyland Main Street feel with all the shops and stuff surrounding the plaza, and it'll just be like this magnificent thing with all these like grandioso buildings, because whenever you go to a theme park you want to sort of feel like small and amazed by all the like incredible buildings, and sort of like the Disney castle. Like when you look at that, it is crazy. It's massive, and uses forced perspective, which I don't want to get into too much. But it's basically, all the floors are like a bit smaller than the other one, which means that the top floor is about 1 centimetre high. It's not that short, but you couldn't fit a person in there. And they do that with a lot of weenies, which, well, I don't want to get into weenies. Everyone laughs when you say it, but it's just this theme park term. I'll get into it a bit more later on, because we're building a weenie in this episode. No, I'm not being rude, that's the name. I'm not going to get into this now, but yeah, it's like a big structure that draws your attention in, for example, the Disney Castle. So you can see now, if you haven't played Planet Coaster or Console Edition, the way that I'm building is quite unique. It's different to any other game, which is what makes Planet Coaster so amazing. So first of all, in all the older games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and any other games that you've ever played, you're sort of stuck on this grid, and everything's on there, roller coasters, shops, scenery, everything like that, which is a bit of a shame. It doesn't allow total freedom. Obviously there's still loads you can do, but it's not like you can't do anything you want. But Planet Coaster has just removed that. There is no restrictions to where you can build stuff. Some items are still on a grid, but it doesn't really matter because you can build them off the grid if you want to. Just takes a bit more time, but like it doesn't matter. But yeah, it had huge success on PC. I think it's in the top. Is it at least in the top 100 games on Steam, which is pretty impressive because it's a pretty massive site with so many games. But yeah, it was very popular. There's a really great community for the game, and everything can be uploaded to the Steam Workshop, or in Console Edition's case, the Frontier Workshop, which is a great way to share everything that you build with the community. And it's something that I'll definitely be doing with this park later on, once we're nearer finishing it or finished. But yeah, so one of the reasons it's popular, as I said, was because you have so much freedom with what you can do. You can see at the moment what I'm doing with the terrain is I've built this incredible massive lake, and I'm smoothing out the edges and I'm painting the terrain, and it looks like amazing once it's finished. Don't want to blow my own trumpet or anything, it's all the game. If this game didn't exist, this park would be rubbish and it wouldn't exist. But you've basically got unlimited freedom in this game, thanks to everything that I've mentioned so far. And also, when you're building, you've got this 3D gizmo thing, which allows you to build in all dimensions. You've got red for like sideways, which is not very impressive. It's calling it sideways. You can see I'm using it here. Then you've got green for vertical y-axis, up and down. And then you've got blue for depth, moving back and forwards, which allows you to place items in any location that you could ever want, really precisely as well. So you can also rotate it in the same way. You can rotate it in any direction, side to side, up, down, back and forwards, through time. No, you can't rotate stuff through time, but you can literally, the possibilities in this game are limitless. That's why there are so many building series and stuff like that you can watch on YouTube if you want to. This particular series is inspired. Well, it's inspired and based on a little bit by the Let's Build the Ultimate Theme Park by Attacking Toucans. It's now on episode 70 or so as of time of recording. I'm sure if you're watching this in the future, he's probably on episode 100. But it's been going for years since the game released, and it's just gotten so massive and amazing. I definitely recommend watching it, and then come back here and watch this, and see who you prefer. Obviously, it'll be him, he is amazing, but yeah. Because basically how this works, I mean, most channels do this, but, oh, sorry about that. So basically what's happening is I've built all this ages ago, and then I've spread it up in some footage, which I'm watching along with you, as I talk over it and try and keep you entertained, and try not to say all the time, which unfortunately I have done quite a lot so far. And yeah, I've got so much to say about this game, and we're already halfway through the video, and I have just so much that I want to say about why this game is so amazing and why it's so incredible. But yeah, I've got so much to do in this park, plenty of episodes coming in the future. So that should not be a problem. Everyone I know, particularly my family, are just fed up of me talking about Planet Coaster and theme parks and roller coasters. It's like, George, come over here, I've built this incredible thing. Sorry, George is my brother. And he's just like, oh no, not again, this stupid game. And it's like, oh yeah, that is incredible because I've been playing it for a while and I'm decent at the game. Which hopefully you'll discover over the course of this series. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'll definitely improve in the future. And I'm sure at some point I'll want to come back and review this park and laugh at it and how ridiculous it was. But you know, you'll be there too and you can laugh as well. So I should give you a little catch up as to where we are. I've built this sort of cliffside using the terrain feature, which as I said before, it's really amazing, pretty much limitless, you can do what you want. And I'm building this waterfall with some special waterfall pieces, which isn't it's not like other games. So, like in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you build 2 ponds of water, and then you connect them, and it would form a waterfall, which isn't quite how this game works. You have to individually place all of the foam at the top and the waterfall falling down, and the splashes at the bottom. which is good. It gives you like pretty good freedom as to what you can do, and it takes away any like, because sometimes it wouldn't let you connect them because they were too far away or anything. But it doesn't look amazing because the water pond at the top sometimes it's just, you have to have quite a thick bit of terrain to keep it together. But it's still pretty good. I'm sure there's another way they could do it. Like in City Skylines, they've got a full water engine, but this game takes up quite a lot of processing power on your Xbox or computer or whatever you're playing it on. So I can see why they wouldn't want to do that. And if you haven't played the game already, you might be a bit confused as to what I'm talking about sometimes. I'm trying to explain it all pretty basically, but as I said, there's just so much to talk about with this game that it's really hard to do. But one of the features that's in console edition that isn't on PC is this thing called the Oswald-Eugene counter, which is basically this limit on how much space, how much data your park is allowed to take up. So you can see down at the bottom, I think it's currently at about 8%. Is that, I can't see if it's 8 or 3, I think it's 8. But you're limited to how much you're allowed to build, which I've got a video explaining like how to split that up so that you get a good ratio with like roller coasters to paths to scenery to shops and stuff, so that you get like a realistic park. But that's going to be like the main issue with building this park, is sticking to that, because you can only really get 6 or 7 coasters, which I'll get into more in later episodes when we build one. But you can only get 6 or 7 coasters or so in your park before it says not allowed to build any more coasters. It's taking up too much space, which everyone was a bit annoyed about when it like first came out, because they wanted to build these magnificent parks with 400 coasters. I don't know, but it is a bit of a shame. But it's also understandable, because you don't want like Frontier don't want you to blame them for you melting your brand new PS5 in half. So I think it's fair enough. I do think they could up it a little, because even when it's full, like, there is no lag at all. But I can totally understand why they did it. So I've now placed some entrance gates and made some like custom type fences out of rocks, and also these spike fences, I just turn them upside down and place them, which is a great thing about the game. Like, even with a pre-made fence, if you flip it upside down, I guess it's a custom fence. I don't know if it counts, but yeah, so you can basically, you build like these paths, which are a bit annoying but pretty much limitless, and then you can build these fences around them, or you can use pre-made ones that like stick to the paths, which are perfect, but they don't look great. And you can see here at the moment I'm placing some beautiful plants, lots of shrubbery and like bushes. What else? I don't know. There's no other names to call bushes. Shrubbery and bushes are about it. But then, yeah, you've also got all these rocks, which are super diverse. There are loads of different shapes and sizes and colours. And again, that's about all you can do with rocks. But yeah, they're really useful. And I remember thinking it sounds stupid. Like, what's the big deal about rocks? But they look really good when you add them. Like, if you've got a sort of empty area and you stick some rocks in there, it looks great. Plus, they're really cheap for the career mode, which is the other section of this. Well, there are 3 sections. The first one is career, which is sort of, you get sent to this like half-built theme park, and you have to complete challenges to, you know, get like different stars and ratings. And I've done like half of them, but I mean, there's not loads, but they're really good for learning how to use the game. That's what they're designed for, along with the tutorial. So that's super useful. And then you've also got challenge mode, where you have to focus on money and make sure you don't overspend, and you have to try and make money, and there's loads of loans and advertising. It's super detailed and really great. I just chose to do this part in Sandbox, which is the 3rd and final mode. You have no restrictions, you don't have to research anything, no money, no nothing. You're basically free to build whatever you want, apart from the Oswald-Eugene counter. So you might have seen earlier, I took away it's got like the 2 spires with the bridges, but I decided to bring that over here and use it as a sort of entrance area. And yeah, I've got this sort of foresty area with a little pond and all these rocks around the side, which do like immediately make it look better. Especially once I change the terrain and spice it up a bit, so it's not just plain grass, it really improves it quite a lot. Which, there are loads of things that you can do to like make a park look better, but the thing that I would say is the most important to making a park look good is to filling all the space. Don't have any empty spots, especially on the ground. You can have some like spots where you can see the sky and you're not covered overhead, but really you want to have as much space filled as you can, whether that's with rides or scenery or roller coasters or anything really. It just makes your park look a lot more diversified and full, and like a real theme park would, because theme parks don't usually have massive open spaces. And then you can see here I'm adding some animatronics, which you don't get a great look of in this last fly-through, which is basically just showcasing everything we've done so far. God, we got through this fast. This is 2.5 hours it took to build all this, but yeah. Here we are. You can't quite appreciate the animatronics from up there. But you've got, yeah, this nice little planter in the middle, then the towers and the entrance gate, and then you've got our weenie, which I ended up forgetting to talk about, because we ran out of time. I'm really sorry, but I cannot wait until the next episode, because, as I said before, I've got so much to talk about with this game. It's really, truly amazing, and I cannot wait to get more into this park, and I hope you can't either. But with that all done, and without any further ado, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.